Here's what you need to know about the AP Language and Composition test in Mrs. Sprague class. First, there's the multiple choice. There are 4 to 5 passages, 52 to 55 questions varying on a year, and you get 1 hour to complete it. If you've done SAT or ACT English tests, you can get an idea of what a standardized multiple choice English test is about. In Ms. Sprague's class, we do MC practice tests, go over vocab words, and always practice analyzing passages when we read. Usually at least one of the passages is from a different time period, so it's important to get used to reading text from different eras. The MC can be challenging for some people, so it's important to practice MC tests by yourself at home. We only do the practice MC test when it gets closer to the AP test, so if you want to get ahead, you can do outside practice.
The synthesis writing prompt. You will use at least 3 of the 5 to 7 sources provided to craft an answer to a given prompt. College Board will provide you with a 15-minute reading period for the sources. This portion is similar to a DBQ if you have taken the World History AP test. In Mrs. Sprague's class, we do synthesis practice, and Mrs. Sprague is always talking about making connections. Making connections is an important theme throughout this class. For example, we read an excerpt of Walden by Thoreau and Into the Wild by John Krakauer. Both comment on the Transcendentalist movement, and we learn how to bring both pieces together to talk about one idea. We also go to the Getty Museum with the class and learn about how to talk about visual sources, such as paintings or photos, which could also be a potential source in the synthesis.
The second essay is a rhetorical analysis. You must analyze the passage to write to one objective. In Mrs. Sprague's class, rhetorical analysis is what you do all in first semester. There are a lot of it in class practices. We do RA about once a week and throughout the year. We go over different genres of writing like satire, letters, or political speeches, all of which could be the RA passage. There's a big transition from English 1 and 2 because those classes focus on commentaries. So it will be confusing at first, but Mrs. Sprague helps you through it. For example, we will focus on specific tools like diction, syntax, and tone. And you may ask, what is that all about? You'll find out soon.
Finally, there is the open argument, which some people fear since it does not provide any sources to draw upon. You have to use your own knowledge. There is one prompt and sometimes a short passage that you can refer to. You have to write to a prompt and use prior stored knowledge and personal experience as evidence. In Sprague's class, we do practice open arguments, do outside reading to expand our knowledge, and we do in-class readings. Mrs. Sprague has us write down a source bank of summarized passages that we've read before so we can think about the kind of information we can use on the open argument. The OA is one of the essays that really requires the writer to make connections. In any passage you read, you should always think about how it relates to something you've read or something that you know. As a side note, all 3 essays are given at once, and you can choose what order to do them in. You get 2 hours and 50 minutes to complete all 3 essays.
The AP test might sound scary, but Ms. Sprague is here to help. One big piece of advice is to make connections. Everything ties together somehow, even if you do not think it would. Think about what has happened in your life, or what you see in the news, or what you have learned from other subjects. When you know what a period a piece is written in, you can understand the context of which it is from. We once read Lincoln's second inaugural address, and drawing upon the historical context in which the Civil War had just ended, we can infer that the speech is about unification in a divided America. Knowing how to tie things together is what makes it for a successful essay in the AP, and it can also help you understand difficult text because you can relate it to something else.
The AP test is ultimately unpredictable because the prompts change every year and the format could also potentially change. The best way to prepare is to actually learn from this class and use it to improve your writing. Use it to improve the way you look at writing, and use it to improve the way you think about writing. If you use this class to actually learn how to write better, you will be prepared for whatever the AP might throw at you. Good luck!